Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Purple Kitchen. Today, we're doing a delicious recipe from my mother-in-law. She made this years ago for my wife and her siblings all through the years, and we have continued to make this on a regular basis. It's just called stuffed shells. It's on a 3x5 card. One side, it is basic, it is simple, but it is delicious. So let's go over the ingredients here, and then we'll start putting it together while the shells are starting to cool before I can stuff them with the meat mixture. So we have 1.5 pounds of ground beef, half a cup milk, 1 egg. This is from my daughter's chickens. I have 32 ounces or 1 quart of your favorite sauce, whatever you guys like as far as your spaghetti sauce. 16 ounces of jumbo shells. 3 to 4 slices of crusty, this is stale bread, and I'm going to dice that. And then about 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese. That's it for the ingredients. And it's literally boil, mix the meat mixture, cover with sauce after you stuff the shells. That simple. So stick with me. Doesn't take long to put together. You can have a delicious meal in a half an hour, 45 minutes with prep time. So here we go. Okay, super easy. I did forget to mention the parsley. It does take 1 tablespoon of parsley. I did have parsley from my garden that I dried this year. So I used my own dried parsley. So I'm excited about that. First thing you want to do is just pour a little of the sauce on the bottom of your pan. You don't want the pasta to stick. Capiche? So there is the bottom of my pan with sauce. Now, this is going to get messy. I'm going to use my hands. Some people wear gloves. Some people use a mixer. I'm using my hands. I don't care. Let's see. So now it tells me I'm going to take my beef. So I have my 1.5 pounds of hamburger here, and I've already chopped it up a little bit more, and I kind of made a well, so it kind of takes the shape of inside the bowl. Just makes it a little bit easier in my opinion. Then it says, go ahead and start mixing the ingredients. So we have our cheese. Let me finish dicing up my bread. This is just, I have some wheat bread that is just about ready to call it quits. Let's just say that. So just going to chop it up. It'll break down even more once I get this in the mixture with the milk. This will continue to break down. It's really just a filler. This is one of those things. I think it's an older recipe. You know, you go back to the days of yesteryear, and when rationing things, a lot of times fillers were bread. They used stale bread because it was readily prevalent in most kitchens. Now we're going to throw that in there. That gives me my hamburger, my bread, and my cheese. My shells are behind me in my strainer, and they are being strained right now. They're only parboiled, remember, because they're going to cook longer with the sauce on them in the oven. And then I have my 1 egg already mixed in with my milk. And then I'll just pour this mixture in. And there you have it. And now I'm just going to kind of start mushing this. I probably should have used a bigger bowl, but once I get the mixture getting worked down, you'll see what happens. It will start to, the bread will absorb the moisture. Yeah, I should have used a bigger bowl, but that's okay. That's okay. The other one I have in the dishwasher. Okay. Yeah, we're good. So this is, it's funny. I always say Italian food, Italian food. This is Americanized, okay? I'm not going to call this an authentic Italian dish. This is Americanized Italian. Now I'm going to get in there and start doing this. You want it mixed really well because you don't want, you don't want a huge hunk of bread and cheese in one and then a big chunk of just burger in the other. So you're just going to keep mixing and mixing. Now, there are so many forms of pasta nowadays, but pretty much stuffed shells. You have manicotti. You can see Hearth and Home. She did lasagna rolls. They kind of look like burritos. They look really good. So just, there's so many different ways. I do have a manicotti recipe. It does vary a little bit. Manicotti, stuffed manicotti has a lot of ricotta or ricotta cheese in it. This has no ricotta, however you say it. So looking pretty good. The meat mixture's looking pretty good. So I'm going to say that's mixed enough. Everything is incorporated. And it smells really good. I mean, I know raw hamburger doesn't have a great smell, but the cheese smells really nice. Okay, so let me grab my stuffed shells. And all I'm going to do is take a little bit of the meat mixture and you're just going to place it in the par-boiled shell like so. And I'm going to just set it in there. If there's any meat mixture left, which, this is not, I don't do this as an exact science, but if I do have any left, I just sprinkle the meat mixture over the top. Now, I'll show you after I get these stuffed, I will show you when I get ready to put it in the oven, what I'm going to do with the cheese on top. So I'm going to do one more. Let me get one more stuffed. And then I'm not going to make you sit here and watch 10 minutes of me stuffing shells. So, with that said, we will be back in about 10 minutes. My oven is preheating to 375 degrees. I'm going to take my sauce that is left, and I'm just going to work this around on top of all of the pasta. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to cover it with foil for the first 40 minutes. 375 at 40 minutes should get us where we want to be. I will then remove the foil for the last 15. And at that point, I'm going to put the mozzarella cheese on. Now, I'm only going to use half of the mozzarella. I'm only going to put half the mozzarella on, I should say. Half of this dish is going to have mozz, half is not. My wife the way this was originally made was no mozzarella on it. So I'm not putting the mozzarella on to the last 15 minutes. Then I'll remove the foil and then we'll let it go. So there we have it. Ready to go. We will see you back in about an hour for the taste test. Well, we are back and we're going to peel the aluminum foil off. And there's what we have. Looks really good. Very, very, very hot. Now what I'm going to do is half of this dish is going to get mozzarella cheese. Half is not. Like I said in the earlier segment, my wife, the original recipe does not call for mozzarella. I like mozzarella. If I had some pepperoni, I would actually put pepperoni on this half. So anyways, so there we have it with mozzarella. This is going to go back in the oven, 15 more minutes. That will complete the dish, and then we'll do the taste test. So stick around. Well, everybody, there we have it. This side on my right hand is with mozzarella cheese. That half is no cheese. There's cheese in the mixture, but not on top. I always add mozzarella cheese. With that said, I've already cut out my chunk, and there it is. Look at the cheese browned up on the edge. It's ooey, it's gooey. This is just comfort food for the max. It's got to cool a little bit. So it's really, you can see the steam coming off it. I'm just going to give it a second to cool while I'm waiting for it to cool and do my taste test. So you can do one of two things. I used lean hamburger, ground beef. I used it lean. And so I could make the mixture go at 375 for the hour total. If you use a less lean, like if you use a 70-30, it would be too fatty. If you have 70-30, pre-cook the meat, let it cool, make the mixture. Okay, so you can make all this the night before, stuff the shells, and then in the morning or afternoon, you can just throw it in the oven for half an hour at 375. So you can either cook it a longer cook, which I like because then it gets crispier. And when you get 90-10 burger, the little bit of fat, I think, adds flavor. So that's why sometimes I cook it. I don't pre-cook the meat. I wait till I stuff the shell. So, can't get the pick up the shell here, but it is very good. Got to get a piece with the mozzarella in there. That'll make a good thumbnail right there. Oh, hold on. Take two on the thumbnail. Delicious. That dish, that's a 9x13. That will give my wife and I probably 5 meals. So some of this I'm probably going to put in some freezer containers. And I'm going to start doing that more. You'll see some videos coming up. And not so much food prep, just to have some nice meals in the freezer instead of going out to dinner or doing a frozen pizza. I can freeze up some of this stuff and then The next day, if we don't feel like going out or cooking dinner that night, I can just pop a couple out of the freezer, let them thaw, throw them in the microwave, and you have lasagna or stuffed shells or mac and cheese or chili, whatever. So this is a win-win for me. My wife loves this. This is old school for her. This brings back a lot of memories for her. And I like it because I like Italian food. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you give it a try. It's easy and it's delicious and it's inexpensive. See you in the next video.